Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of No Sugar Added. I am Guru Dan, joined by John Claude and J Fabs, and a special guest here, Jess. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen?
How's it going?
Nothing much at all.
Hey, what's
Pretty
going
good.
on?
So, Jess, first time on here, huh? Are you ready for this?
I am. I'm ready. First timer.
This is going to be really exciting because we got a pretty good topic today. What makes someone dateable? Question mark. But before we jump into this topic here, I would like to thank everyone for joining today, and please make sure to follow us to keep updated on our podcast as it goes live. And also, if you have any other questions for us and want to find out more about us, please check us out on nosugaraddedpodcast.com. So, let's jump into the topic. What makes someone dateable? Jean-Claude, for you, what makes someone dateable?
That's tough. I mean, if we're talking physical, I think it's a really nice smile and a weird laugh. I don't know. That's a me thing.
A weird laugh, like
no, like if they're if they laugh like donkeys. Oh god, that's the worst way of putting it. Jesus.
Oh, I thought you were into that. You're into that?
No, when they're like laughing in a circle and they sound like a donkey. I don't know why, but I find that cute. I know it's a little weird, but it's cute. Like, aw.
Hey, everyone has their own thing, so
that's physical. I don't like, hey, she looks like she's cute, but she has a really nice smile and she has a weird laugh. Hey, that's even better.
Well, this got real interesting from Jean-Claude over
My
there,
bad.
bringing up donkeys and all that fun stuff. But I mean, let me try and segue from donkeys to what do I think looks or feels dateable? Obviously, I think the first thing is I think of a lot of things as a book cover. So you're getting the book cover when you see that first person. So there's a lot of physical attractions and tons of stuff that you see from there. But I think to me that's the first thing that I look at.
Physicality.
But yeah, physicality.
Yeah, because that's the first thing that jumps everyone's face.
I mean, everyone has to pass the eye test. I mean,
Yes.
that's clearly the first test that everyone's going through. I mean, if you catch my eye, then I want to see what else is there to the person.
it's kind of nice having a woman perspective. Jess, what do you look for in a man? What's dateable?
I mean, I feel like I'm into dark features and light eyes. I feel like if they have light eyes, that's the first thing I get drawn to. And then smile. And, I mean, I would like someone that is, maybe they're not in the most tip-top shape, but I would like someone that's at least average. I mean, I want someone to at least look like they take care of themselves somewhat. But they have to pass the eye test first before I want to, dig deeper and see personality-wise if they're attractive.
It's very good.
True. True. I mean,
taking notes.
The eye test is real, though. You have to look at the person. Do they catch your eye? But then it depends. Your standards. Like, what if you're into 3 years and above? What if you're into 5s and above? What if you're only unicorns? Unicorns are 10s, people. Unicorns don't exist in this life. Only 9s.
So true.
There's no such thing as a 10. That's impossible.
Yeah.
Well, there are.
What's a unicorn for you?
The girl that laughs like a donkey,
Yeah, the girl that laughs like a donkey.
The one with the ears and the teeth.
You want a Shrek and donkey relationship, huh?
Big ears and a weird donkey laugh and I'm set.
So you want a Dumbo donkey?
Damn, bro. She doesn't have to be
woman?
Dumbo. Your ears just have to be a little...
Big ears Dumbo.
A little bit. Not like... Whoopah! Like she's about to take off if she starts running a little fast. Jeez.
In his defense, I think he wants the Disney ending. Let's bring it back to that.
Disney ending? What is a Disney ending?
Oh, sorry, I think it's Pixar's.
I mean, this is Disney ending is when people break out into song and dance. I mean, if that's what he's into.
No, God, no.
The castle.
I mean, yeah, physicality, it's the first thing to go. And then after that, and then it's personality. That's tough. Because everyone likes their own version of the personality.
But a little bit back with what Jess was saying with catching the eye. I think there's plenty of times when we see someone pass by and we give them that double take, oh, hold on, let me see. Did I see what I just saw? I think that's
a unicorn.
Is that a little bit what you were going with, Jess?
Kind of. If I'm walking and I see someone and they catch my eye, I definitely turn around and look again just to make sure. I was like, did I really catch a good glimpse of them? Or are they kind of funny looking? Let me see. Do they have are they wearing sunglasses? Because sunglasses are like padded bras for men. Just saying. If you're wearing sunglasses, you can look real good until they come off. And I'm like, yeah, no, hard pass.
I'm never going to wear my sunglasses with the same thoughts anymore.
No more aviators?
I'm just going to wear them thinking oh, God, if I take them off, they're going to see my beady eyes. Because I'm blind.
You do have, anime eyes.
Because I'm blind.
Yeah, I feel like eyes are big for me. I don't know what it is. Personally, I think, guys that have, wide, not crazy looking, but like wide eyes, like not beady, squinty, like wide eyes, like young eyes, I think is the best way to describe it. Guys with like young looking eyes, like their eyes they have life in their eyes, I guess is a good way to put it.
Like they're more there or something? Like you think like they're alive, you would say?
Yeah,
or?
like their eyes are alive. Like you can almost get personality from the way they look. Like they have personality in their look. It's I don't know. That's just me personally.
I could see that. I think like enjoying life a little bit to its fullest, you know? Because I think if you have smaller eyes, I would assume like, oh, you're just kind of like quiet, reading books. Those eyes are like on the screen too hard.
Oh my God.
or maybe you're blind.
I mean, it's like a commonality I've seen in like guys that I've dated in the past or been interested in. They all seem to have similar features in that sense. Like they might not be the same height, they might not be the same weight, hair color, but like they all have similar like large like eyes that have like life in them. Like they almost have like eyes that glisten, like Disney movies, like where they have that little twinkle in their eye. I feel like all the guys I've been interested in all have that commonality. Personalities are all freaking like point A to point B, like totally different personalities, but they all have the same eye structure, I guess. I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah. Even like the tints of the eyes, honestly. Like obviously, I mean, I've seen girls with light colored eyes, and I think we all kind of jump on that, don't we? No? Are we all the same here or no?
Honestly,
I mean, I'm not on the girl train, but with the guy train, yes. Light eyes
Yeah.
totally catch my attention.
I'm the same
Even
with
I
like,
don't know. I mean,
I
eyes
like the
are
light
eyes.
eyes, but I mean, sometimes if they have like, you know, those like honey-looking chocolate eyes, I think it's just like a light eye because just the way the light hits it. Like dark
Yeah.
eyes, sometimes you can't really see their eyes because they're kind of dark. But I don't know.
I don't know. Eyes are
just-
eyes.
What do you think, Jean-Claude? No?
Like eyes, you can have blue eyes. You can have the darkest
Because he's
brown
too busy
eyes.
staring at ass.
No,
that kind of brings up something.
I'm
though,
looking
like,
at their ears. Okay,
And hoping that they take light, clearly.
looking at their ears and smile.
What about you, Guru Dan? What do you
That's all I
looking at?
need.
I look at the eyes first, and I like a nice laugh, not a donkey laugh. Like
No, I mean I like a nice
like a
laugh,
normal
but she has like a unique
Like-
laugh. Well, not like that's like a no.
You know who had an interesting laugh? Amsterdam girl.
April.
Yes.
That's bomb. That's bomb. That's bomb.
No. Well, I said laugh. I didn't say anything about.
I
her
know,
saying
but
the
that's my
bomb.
first thought of when I think of April. I don't remember her laugh. I think it might have been annoying to me. If your laugh is annoying, that's definitely a turn off.
April, if you watch this, I'm sorry for the rudeness.
Yo, my bad.
We love Cali, by the way.
No, bro, she's in Costa Rica now.
No, I think she's back home.
She's back. I thought she was supposed to be there for 6 months.
I don't think they stopped things about April or anything like that.
Yeah,
Sorry,
that's right.
sorry,
That's right.
sorry,
Here.
sorry.
All right, yeah. So, is that we're good, or we'll jump into the main topic at hand?
Wait, what about personality? Are we including that in this point of conversation right now?
Yeah, sure.
What
we
makes
can-
someone dateable? I think it's also their personality, because physical attraction will get you so far, and then, yo, are you a dick?
Yeah, someone's personality will make you ugly real quick.
Yeah.
You could be hot as all hell, and then you open your mouth, and I'm like, oh no, hard pass. You're a 1. Bye.
Yeah.
Yeah, I believe it.
You know, actually, think about it. Like, people rate people on like 1 to 9.
Yeah.
Because 10 is a unicorn.
10 is a unicorn, doesn't exist. Well, there is a couple women that do exist, but that's not the point. But I think it's safe to say you can probably rate someone's personality as well. You know,
Yeah.
it just the problem is you can't tell a personality as quickly as from looks. For personality, you have to get to know the person, and when you get to know them, then you find out like, yo, you're like a 4, and you look like a 6, so you're a 5 altogether because you average it out.
No, it's true. I mean, personality, that's like the thing that keeps you hanging around longer. You know what I mean?
True.
Besides I think the first thing that opens that door, I think, obviously the appearance. You know, and
Yeah, it's like appearances open the door, and then personality wants you to stay along for the ride. Do you want to stay for the ride,
Do
or
you
do you
want-
want to
yeah.
get back out that car
You wanna
because the
stay-
personality sucks?
100%. Do you want to stay on the car or do you want to get the hell out?
Like,
So-
are we taking that ride, or are you like, yeah, no, I'm getting out of this
Yeah.
vehicle. And it was really nice knowing you, though. Bye.
Yeah. Like, I just need you to get me to the next street, and that's it. But
Yeah, I'm cool.
So we're gonna talk about what we're looking for personalities.
Yeah, we're talking everything that's.
Oh
makes someone
man,
doable
what am I
or
looking for in
man.
a personality? Selfless, hardworking, determined, ambitious, not afraid to call me out on shit. I like introverts. Introverts are good.
Introverts.
Yeah, you know, like an extrovert's cool and all, but bro, like introverts are where it's at. It's a lot easier.
I know JFabs has some experience with introverts. Because my man is
Introverts.
Well, kind of like
Here we go.
what I would bring up is
This whole podcast will be introverts. Introverts 101.
introverts.
Oh, that could be a
101.
topic.
I love me some introverts. But let's get back to the point here. And what I was going to say was that what I've noticed, like, at least when someone's dating somebody, I know there's a lot of times that someone's a dominant and a recessant. So there's plenty of times where, like, I know Jean-Claude here has said, like, he wants to be... What'd you say? You wanted to be dominated? No, you said you wanted to be...
He wanted to be dominated.
No. All right. Well, you know what I meant.
No, I don't remember saying anything.
It's like 50 Shades of Grey, bro.
But you want a girl to be able to tell you. You want a girl...
Oh, yeah. I mean, like, the girl can't be completely recessive, because then where's the fun in that? Like, if you're the head of the relationship the whole time, you only go one way. It's boring.
It's true.
You're going to get lost in the woods.
Yeah.
But if, you have someone else helping you out, dominating the navigating through the woods, you're going to get out, Yeah,
because eventually, obviously, you don't want to carry the load on your back. You want someone else who's going to, all right, let me have you take some off, and then you can put some back on when you're tired. It's a give and take thing.
Exactly. I need someone who's like, yo, that's not how you do. I'm like,
yeah.
Okay, fine.
But personalities, I mean, at least for me...
Introvert.
The reason why I like introverts, believe me, I'm an extrovert, but the reason why I like introverts is like, being an extrovert and being around sometimes too many extroverts, it's like I feel like it just gets louder and louder. People talk over one another at times.
You feel like you get lost.
Yeah, like it gets like it's a little, sometimes it can get difficult at times. But having an introvert around, I feel like that's like they're more of like they take a step back and they're more listening than they are being able to like jab or being able to say something real quick. So it's like they take a second to think of what before they speak. I think that's great. But at the same time, too, like being an extrovert, I've taken time to also step back and try and, I don't want to say put myself in an introvert shoes. And be like, okay, let me try and not speak first. Let me be second to talk. So I think that's as a personality, that's something, too, I like to see in someone. Like, can they take a second and not always speak first? Can they learn to take a seat back? And then eventually, like, you exchange seats again, kind of like what we were talking about, heavy the load and somebody needs to take some of the heavy and then switch off.
Share the weight.
Yeah, so I mean, I think it's obviously when you're in a relationship for so long, I know that's like later on towards everything, but you don't want to be
the dominant force in the relationship.
Yeah, you don't want to like burden the load. You know what I mean? Like if you don't want to,
because then you guys are only going to the places you like. Then you're only going to the places you want to go to, and it's like
And one thing you do know about introverts is once you get to know them, they open up.
That's true.
So it's not always, you got to break through that seal, and then once you break through that seal, you kind of get to know them a little bit.
That's very true.
And then you can get to know them on a deeper level. And I know once you get to know your introvert, they're kind of more like they're with you. It's not an extrovert. An extrovert is easily accessible to many people. An introvert's not that easily accessible to as many people as you would think. So I think getting to know an introvert is like almost like when you got them, you got them. At least that's how I see it in my own sense. But let me. I'll throw it to Jess. Maybe Jess has some input from all that.
Introverts 101.
Introverts, extroverts.
With J Fabes.
Introverts and extroverts. Okay. So I agree with the fact that with an introvert, like once you kind of break through that wall and you get to know them, that then they become someone that you don't know yet because they're not going to put everything out there. They're not wearing their heart on their sleeves. You don't know them as a whole just yet until you actually take the time to get to know them. And then there's like a whole other side to this person. So I would agree that, so you can't both be introverts. You can't both be extroverts. I think you kind of need a harmonious balance of the two. I feel like one needs to be a little bit, more outgoing, more wanting to do things, and the other maybe a little bit more reserved and closed off. But then once the two of you join and link in a relationship, you bring the best out of each other. Like you kind of need a balance. You need someone that wants to do things all the time, and you need someone that's like, pump the brakes, pull it back a little bit. Like, let's think about this first before we, jump ship. Like, you need someone that's going to be your rock. Like, you need someone that kind of brings let's sit and think it over for a minute before we, act impulsively. So I think you kind of do need a little bit of both in a relationship. You can't both be the same personality.
I think that's great. I think it's exactly like you need your introvert to balance your extrovert. You can't always be full extrovert, and then expect like you're just going to keep trying to top yourself up and up and up. Your introvert's going to bring you down a little. Like, hey, come back to earth.
I mean, even if you look at it like in a long-term relationship, like once you're older, like if you're someone that loves to spend money and you love taking extravagant vacations and you love just saying, yeah, I just bought a trip on a whim, and you're with someone that's like a saver, that person's going to be like, no, we can't go on a trip. Like, we need to save. And they'll pull you back and kind of keep you from making those impulsive decisions. So you kind of need, it's like a yin and a yang. You need a little bit like that.
Exactly. And I think the extrovert's a little more spontaneous, so they're kind of a little quick to, like, not really think so fast, but the introvert's like, hold on, let's give a second, let's think, and let's bring it back.
But sometimes the introvert does need that, because sometimes they don't know how to have fun because they're so constantly like stressing about saving and doing this and doing the right thing. And then that's where the extrovert kind of comes in. It's like, no, you need to relax, so let's take a trip. And then, you kind of think about it and you're like, yeah, we can afford it. Why not? Let's take a trip. So you balance each other out.
I think it's exactly what personalities and stuff like that, that you're looking for somebody.
But you, Guru Dan, what do you think, personality-wise? What are you looking for?
Yeah.
Are you looking for a rock?
No, I'm not.
Are you looking for a Dumbo with a
Trust me,
donkey
I'm not
laugh?
looking for a rock at all.
A Dumbo with a donkey laugh.
I'm not looking for a big-eared
Damn!
donkey woman.
Donkey.
I have big ears, bro. Shit.
Well, yeah. Well, I do too, but
Exactly. Don't hit on the big ears.
obviously, what I look for: honesty, confident, good hygiene, intelligence,
Good
nice hobbies.
hygiene.
Oh yeah,
That
man.
has to be like...
Hygiene is an important matter.
I
Man.
know. I mean, but that shouldn't even be on the list. That should be like a given. Like,
Okay,
No, I take
what
it
world
back,
do
yeah.
you
Some
live
people
in?
are-
Like,
some people are not
Yeah.
hygienic.
I
Take a
mean,
step
have you been at? You haven't been in the dating world in a while.
like,
I mean,
I commute on a train, bro.
yeah. Sometimes hygiene is not on someone's top 3
I
priorities.
don't know. I
of
feel
the
like
day.
at our age we need to...
It should automatically be implanted into the brain.
Yeah, it should be.
but
Should.
it's not.
should.
It's true.
Look, deodorant, people, women included, deodorant is a powerful thing. But yeah, that's what I'm looking for. But anyways, so I've been doing a lot of research on this matter.
Research.
And I got a list of things I found from all different places from where I was reading. So I made a little list here.
Here we go.
And these are like the top things that people are looking for in their partner or someone they're getting to know or anything. So this isn't kind of in order, but feel free to jump in as I name these. All right.
Oh, here we go.
So 1, owning a house or apartment.
What?
Apparently, a lot of people want someone who owns a house or rents an apartment.
That's the last thing I have on my mind.
But yeah, me too. But when I read this, I was like, "Oh, really?" Because that's unfortunate because on where you live.
I think it also depends upon age. What age are you dating at? Like, if you're dating at an older age, I think I would be looking for that too.
Yeah, but I mean, regardless, I mean, we're in our high 20s here. I mean, we should be somewhere in the fields of in the apartment area at least. But where we live, it's very expensive. Very expensive. It's very hard to rent or own a house alone.
Yeah, I mean, that is true. Where we do live is very expensive, and I feel like it's not realistic to be in your own place right now. But I kind of do see in that list where, okay, you're, late 20s, early 30s. Like, if you meet someone and you're talking to them, and you're like, yeah, so where do you live? And you say, well, I live with my parents. That, for me, not that I want it to be, but that, for me, is an instant turnoff where I'm like, you're late 20s, early 30s, you have a career, quote unquote, and you still live at home. Like, I get it. Part of me is like, I get it. They're saving money. They're saving up to buy a house, which is why, like, I kind of feel like I'm on the fence with that because I feel like I judge, but then again, I rationalize it and then I don't judge it. Like, I have both sides of it where I'm like, oh, you really shouldn't be at home, but then I'm like, well, life is fucking expensive, so I understand why you're at home. I get it.
Yeah, New Jersey, no one's renting an apartment.
Yeah.
Unless you're making some decent money.
Yeah, no, if you're not from New Jersey and you're listening, don't move here.
I'm sure you can pull up an article somewhere of the amount of people leaving Jersey, actually. So
Yeah.
that's some homework for some people to do out there.
There you go.
It's true.
Number 2 is on the list is having friends.
You know
No.
what? I'm going to cut in on that.
Yeah.
Having friends is very important because
Yes.
I've dated people that have not had friends, and I now know why.
Yeah, because
you need to have
You mean like no friends or
Yeah,
like
like
one
that-
or two friends?
one or two friends, which tends to lead to them being sociopaths. And they've fallen into that category, because I also have read lists to see what makes someone a sociopath, and they fell underneath all of those things. So having friends is very important. It shows you who they are. Like, if people don't want to be around them, there's a reason why people don't want to be around them.
That's a good thing I have a good amount of friends.
I have friends.
Now, how many friends is a good enough amount of friends? What would you say?
I don't know. I think like 5 is a solid number.
I don't know. I rock with a straight crew of 3.
Yeah,
and then I have my other friends.
Well, I mean,
We have more than-
we have more than 3 in the crew.
No,
but
well, I know, but
our bond is like us 3.
Yeah, three
us
close
4.
friends, 3 or 4 close friends.
Yeah, I think 3 or 4 close friends is normal.
Yeah.
And then you have some like
And then sometimes, like, if they have like really, really large groups of friends, it makes you wonder, like,
Yeah.
Are they really
you
friends?
are they really your friends, like, or are they just acquaintances that you go out with all the
Yeah.
time because you have no one else to go out
Yeah,
with? So
'cause
I think like 3 or 4 close friends, that's a
Yeah.
legitimate like friendship there.
Definitely, for sure.
because it also goes to show you, like, if you have so many friends, are you a people pleaser? Are you someone who
that's a good
are
point.
you, are you someone who just like when you're with that individual itself, that you just like please them and say what you want them, what they want you to say to them?
Yeah, are you being like a reflection of your friend? Like, are you giving them
Yeah.
what they want? Like,
Exactly.
who are you really? If you're constantly changing with people, then who really are you at the end of the day?
Because then if you're yourself, then obviously there's going to be people. There's going to be people who like you, don't like you. So you're
course,
going to have
yeah.
some, and you're not going to have some. But if
Yeah.
you have all wins, then it's
Then exactly. Then why? Not to say that you shouldn't like someone, but
Yeah.
if you're being your true self, then you're obviously going to clash with someone. You're going to butt heads. So not everybody's going to like you. At the end of the day, we're all adults here. Not everyone likes everyone.
Yeah, I know
That's
there's people
true.
who don't like me, so no dirt off my
Same.
back.
Same.
So number 3 on the list is be present. And I'm going to explain this, all right? At our
You mean
age, like at our age, no one likes to chase. The chase.
well, they shouldn't at this age.
They shouldn't, but it
No,
happens.
This isn't high school. This
Yeah.
isn't college. You know, it doesn't mean that you have to be with your partner like every second of the day. No, I think a few days a week is good enough.
Yeah, like half the week at best.
Half of the week, yeah.
Half the week.
A few days.
Because you need some you time.
But I don't think that we're going to want to chase that person just to get a conversation out of them.
Oh, God, no. Fuck that shit.
Well, we've been there and done that.
That's called a
Thank
breakup.
you.
I think that's also, you might have to break through like a barrier though. Like if you're meeting an introvert, I mean, not to say that you might think you're chasing, but you might just have to break down that wall from her.
Oh, it could be.
There's walls that girls put up from previous males. I should probably let Jess jump in on this, but I mean, from what I know as a male, from a male perspective, is that like girls have high walls, and to get to that wall, you might have to put in not just the effort, but extra effort to get over that wall.
Well, you shouldn't have to be putting in extraordinary measures.
Oh, yeah.
I know, I
extraordinary
don't think you have to
measures.
put extraordinary measures in, but I mean, I will be honest and admit that I definitely have walls built up because of prior reasons. And, you know, I mean, I feel like some days I'm really easy to reach and talk to, and then other days I build this really high wall, and you got to work extra hard to be able to get in touch with me, because sometimes I just won't answer. Not that I ignore it, not that I don't want to answer, but I almost can't answer because I have my own issues going on. So, like, if you really are interested and you're willing to look past that, then, you know, you'll keep trying. Keep knocking on the door until eventually I open it.
So, Jeff, if you kept on knocking on the door?
Not stalkers. Had one of those, too. Welcome to the life of Jess.
Here's a question for you. How do you differentiate a stalker and just someone who's trying to break down your walls? Like,
Well, I mean, when you have
Genuineness,
someone
or-
call you about 6 times on a Saturday morning, beginning those phone calls at 7:30 a.m.,
Okay.
followed by a text saying, I miss your skin.
Bro, this is a true story, though.
This is a very true story. So, I mean, when you get texts like that, yeah, you kind of get a little off-put by that. Yeah, I would consider that a stalker. When they're like, I miss your skin and I miss your smell. And you're like, whoa, please lose my number. Don't ever talk to
I
me
think
again.
JFabs is taking some notes over here. So
That's crazy.
This next one shouldn't be on a list, but you know it's common sense. But honesty is
Honesty?
another thing. You know,
Oh, yeah, no,
people
but-
seem to have a very difficult time with honesty.
I mean, there are serial liars out there. People who just love lying on top of lies on top of lies. And then, I don't know, I think honesty is pretty... It's like hygiene. Like, it should be a given,
It should be a given.
you know?
I think there's a lot of should be givens, but even when it comes to honesty within this time and age of honesty with dating apps and all these other things that people have on the secrecy and dating A, B, and C person, honesty, I think right now it's tough to find right now. I think
I think it's just with
social media.
With social media, yeah, there's so many social platforms now. It's so easy to be someone you're not. Like,
yeah, definitely.
It on social media, it hasn't happened to me just yet, but I do have some people that have been on dating apps and they've met guys that they think were great and they were the world, and they ended up being married with a family. And you just, you got to do a little digging sometimes, because you really don't know a person. I mean,
hey, Papa.
I mean,
pretty much.
That's like the biggest lie one can have.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'd be able to hide a family. That's Jesus Christ.
Can I come over? No, my kids are here sleeping.
Yeah, it's true. Honestly, shouldn't be on that list, and it should be a given. But I guess they're just people who just like lying. It's easier for them.
That's true.
So the next on the list is very important for your partner: confidence.
Now, are we talking cocky, or are we talking you're just confident in who you are?
Just confident in yourself. Just got to believe in yourself. I mean, if you're not confident in who you are, how are you going to have that encouragement to talk to that person?
Yeah,
Wait,
well,
I'm trying to repeat that sentence one more time, please.
I don't exactly remember what I just said, but
You said if you're not confident in who you are, how are you going to be able to talk to that person?
well, kind of like what we were chiming in about on our last podcast about kind of like dating apps and how that's like almost like you don't have the confidence to say what you need to say to someone in person, so you use a dating app because it's easier. It's not.
Yeah.
I'm going to chime in on the whole dating app thing, because it's online, because it's not in person. Guys, I'm not going to say you three, but guys have some balls on dating apps, because they know that they don't see these women in person.
Yeah.
They would never speak like this to a woman in person, but they send some atrocious things because they're like, I'm never going to see them. Like, so there's like this false sense of security and confidence in these men sending messages, because they're like, well, she's either going to respond or she's not. 9 times out of 10, they're not going to respond, or they're going to respond with something, and I quote, "Does this ever actually work for you?" But with dating apps, I feel like the whole like there's nothing personal about it anymore. Like, you're not going to meet someone in a coffee shop and say something like, oh, let me see your tits, or send me pictures. Like, you would never speak to someone like that in person.
You know what those people are called? They're called internet warriors.
I just don't get why it's
warriors?
Yeah.
like they know it's not going to work. I don't get why they do it. I just don't understand.
They take all that game online, but I don't see them in person. I guarantee they won't open their mouth.
Absolutely not.
I like what you said, though. A false sense of confidence.
Yeah.
Or as Guru Dan was talking about, what do you call them? Keyboard warriors? No.
Internet warriors.
Oh,
Bro, how do you fuck up a word?
I call them keyboard. I call them. What do I call them? I call them
Keyboard warriors.
I don't know what you
warriors.
call them, but they're called internet warriors.
Some internet warriors, whatever you want to call it. It's, if you look on Instagram, you see like people comment on whether it's whatever page they're following, or and all this other stuff, like, or even on YouTube. On YouTube, like, just people like who comment at the bottom, like they'll say whatever they want to say about what a video might say or something like that might say, but when they're in person, they won't say it because obviously they don't have the courage or all that, all the stuff that comes along with it.
Yeah, because they're online and no one can find them.
Exactly.
That's what it is. All right, so now we jumped out. We're jumping out of confidence, and we're going to go into the topic I brought up before: hygiene. Common sense, as we said. Shower, clean nails, smell good, don't wear dirty clothes.
Clean nails.
Yeah, of course, clean nails.
Have you ever seen
dirty nails?
gunk?
I don't know.
It's disgusting.
I'm a nail biter, so I don't really pay attention to my nails.
That's also
much.
a turn off in a lot of women.
I know. But when I get nervous, I usually just bite my nails.
And of course,
So you're nervous every day of every week of every month?
No, just like once a day every week. Just the average.
And of course, deodorant, as I mentioned. And
That's a must.
And don't forget to brush your teeth.
That's a must.
That shit stank.
When you start
Especially
talking,
when you drink coffee.
That shit stink.
yeah, I don't want to smell what you have for
You know
breakfast.
what? Recently, I'll say 3 months ago, I started getting into it because my dentist said shit. Floss. Please. If you don't like normal floss, fuck that floss. Just grab the little picks. Those are fun. They work really, really well.
Little picks?
Yeah, the little...
Like the one with the little string attached to it?
No, the little floss picks. Yeah, because real floss to me is confusing as fuck, but that's
I
not the
hate
point.
real floss. It's so annoying.
Yeah, so yeah, please,
Real
people.
floss doesn't work for people that can't feel their gums. Just saying.
I think I can feel mine.
I can't feel mine. So,
Oh, yeah.
Little tidbit.
Yeah. I know, yeah, floss.
So-
I mean, I don't know. I feel like hygiene should be a given, but I guess some people just kind of lack. They don't. I guess they don't develop that
Come on a train
as
with me, buddy.
as a child.
On
Train with
on
you?
a rainy day, go on a train.
No, it doesn't even have to. Come with me tomorrow at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and wait for a Monday when it gets busier. But yeah, hygiene for sure. Anyone else have anything to add into the hygienes? Good, check. Mark. All right, and
I could totally
oh,
I could totally hop on the hygiene train as a girl.
preach, sister.
Okay, now are we like all open in on conversation? Like it can be anything at this point.
Anything with hygiene?
Yeah, by all
Alright.
means. I think I know where this is going. But go on.
My
please.
dudes, my uncircumcised friends.
Oh no, I know where this is going.
Lord help me, please, when you shower. Pull that thing back and wash. For all the women I'm speaking out there, we all know the struggle. Please, shower, clean everything down below.
You're talking to women too?
No.
No,
Well,
she's speaking
women
for
should be
women.
clean as well, but I'm cleaning for all the women out there that have had to struggle with our uncircumcised friends. Please.
Yeah, I've heard some things from women, some
Sorry.
ungodly stories. That, like that's real. That actually happened. Like no way.
No. All right, you heard it here, fellas.
Clean it. Clean it.
Clean it up, boys. All right, so number 7, a career.
That, hold on. Here's where age perspective comes. If you're young and you don't have a career yet, that's cool, whatever. But
How young are we talking?
like if you're 21,
Okay, no, of course.
because at 21 I didn't have a career. Well, I did work that would one day become my career,
it
but
could be
regardless,
someone who's motivated, who wants to accomplish.
ambitious. They're driven.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. But I mean, if like you're in your late 20s, like we are, and you don't have any sense of a career or somewhere where it's going, no, we're gonna stop right there. No.
Unacceptable.
Or if you're trying to achieve something, like you're going to school to become a female electrician, I don't know. Fuck it. You're still going for something. Shit, it shows ambition, it shows you have drive, by all means, please. But if you're telling me like, oh no, I'm a waitress and bartender for 7 different bars. I work each bar one day at a time, like
So a bar a day.
yeah, bar a day, a different bar a day. I'm like, no again. 7 no's, because it's 7 days a week. 1 no for every bar.
Oh, well, there's a bar open every day. So
If you're like in your early 30s and you're striving to be a musician, and you're a
Ooh,
server,
that's a good one right there. That's a
And-
no-go.
you're like, I want to be an actor, I want to be a musician, and that's all
I
you're
want to
doing.
be a DJ.
I mean, dreams are cute, but they don't pay bills. So, like, you need some sort of direction in
Sorry,
your life.
Josh. Oh.
You do. You need a direction in your life. You need something. Dreams are great. You can totally do anything on the side. But you need something. I mean, like, servers make great money. Bartenders make great money. But it's good for now. It's not good for later. Like, that's kind of how you have to... You need someone...
at 40.
Well, I mean... you
At
can't
medieval
be the-
times.
If you're gonna be the waitress at the diner that you frequent at 3 in the morning when you're drunk, that has the really dark blue eyeliner, and her name is like Gail or something.
Gail?
Like if that's what you're trying to achieve when you're in your 40s, 50s, that's great. But at this point, I'm not looking for someone that has a career already, but I want someone at least that has some sort of direction. Like they need to know what it is that they're doing in life. Like that's more so what I'm interested in. At least if you don't have a career yet, that's fine, but you know what you're working towards. You need a goal.
So real quick, Jess, just so the people who are listening, you mind saying your age?
My age?
Yeah.
I'm 26.
All right, she's 26, fellas.
What's your Instagram?
26 going on 50, boys. Sorry.
But when you're talking about careers, what I think about, because I think you meet people at different times in their life. Everyone's at a certain point within their own timeline. So what do I think when you meet somebody? First, I think it depends upon sustainability. Can they sustain their own life with the currency they're making currently? Are they dependent on themselves, or are they dependent on others? I think there's a different way of thinking. Also, at the same time, I think there's others who get stressed trying to find the exact career that what am I put on earth for? But at the same exactly. So then it's like I don't want to say careers. I want to say sustainability. But I think careers is longevity. Or are we? I think it's also talking pay ceilings. You are where you're at. Where's your pay ceiling? Are you close to hitting it, or do you have something on the side that's going to lead you to a higher pay ceiling? But you're just not there yet. You know what I mean? Like where are you along that timeline? And it's obviously if you're talking longevity, you're talking wife, you're talking home, you're talking kids. Pay ceiling, I think it's where are you along that line? But career wise, I mean, I get the
I mean, I totally get where you're coming from, where you're saying it depends on where they are in life, because 6-7 months ago, my career was a teacher. I was teaching first grade. I was 2 years into being a teacher. That was my career. And then shit happens, and I'm back in New Jersey. I was teaching in Arizona. I'm back here. And now I'm working for a fertility pharmacy, selling fertility medication to help women get pregnant. So this is my current career right now. Is I'm working for a fertility pharmacy, and I'm a care coordinator for patients, and that's what I'm doing. So this is now my career path that I'm going down. So, I mean, 6-7 months ago, you would have asked me what was my career. I was a teacher. That's what I was doing. Now I'm doing something completely different. But as long as you have a direction, I think that's okay.
I also think there's like a somewhat stigma to you're a teacher. Okay, I would date a teacher. But then you tell someone like, oh, I work at a fertility clinic. They're like, whoa. But why? Why should that even be like that? You know what I mean?
They need you to explain exactly what it is.
Exactly.
What is it that you're doing? Like, why does it matter? This is what I do for work. It's my career. I mean...
Exactly. Well, do they know pay? Do they know where that, I mean, obviously, in top of my head, I don't know what either of those make within, so can she support herself? Yes. On both jobs. So then what's the difference in the thought process of thinking of somebody, oh, she's a school teacher, good.
If you're a teacher, it's an everyday career. It's on that career list, that you've heard about since you were a kid. He's a firefighter, he's a police officer, she's a teacher, he's a lawyer, he's a doctor. It's like very, cut and dry, career. Like that is a career. But then when you hear other things like I'm an audio sound technician, and they're like, well, what exactly is that? Explain it to me. Or
how hard that is to explain.
I work as as a pharmacy tech, or I work in a pharmacy. Like, well, what exactly is that? I work in IT. Like, what do? You sit in front of a computer all day? Like, why is it that those careers have to be explained?
Yeah, it's true. It's like we bracket people into okay, oh, they're this job. Okay, so then I think they only make this amount. So that means they're not ambitious. They're not going towards certain things. But hey, we all have different pit stops on our journey, but we all have our own roads we got to take. So I think it's also too, when you meet that person, you kind of how much time do I have to be with a certain individual, and where can that individual be within a year? I want to give this person a year, or I see myself starting a family within a year. I think it's also when you meet that person, what age are you meeting that person, and where do you see yourself in a certain time frame? So I think there's tons of variables. I think
it's all situational, pretty much.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, tons of stuff.
It's quite a few valid points there. I liked it. And as we leave the career stage, which, by the way, I see is a very good career. Just want to say that real quick. A positive attitude, I guess, would be the next one.
You know what? That's true. I mean, if the person doesn't have a positive... I mean, you don't have to be positive every day, but, have a good outlook on life.
Well, especially when it comes to that first impression, you really have to have that positive attitude.
It's true. You have to show that sense of liveliness, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
I feel like positivity brings positivity. It attracts it. So if you're constantly being a Debbie Downer, and you're constantly complaining about this and complaining about that, well, then that's what's going to come your way.
Yeah, I don't want no negative vibes in my life.
I think also when you're being positive, I think it's great to be positive, but your actions must follow your positivity. You can't just speak, I'm going to positive, and then you're kind of just not really moving your feet.
Your actions aren't.
Your actions don't speak for what your words are.
Yeah, you're not being.
They say actions speak louder than words, so you can say all the beautiful words you want, but unless you're acting upon that, then it's just. But I
think positive.
They're just empty words.
Yeah, positivity is great though. When actions follow suit.
That's true.
And we'll jump on to number 9. A sad one, but it is the truth nowadays. People are looking for other people who have nice bodies, who are physically fit in some ways, average body build.
Yeah, I think that kind of hops back to what I said in the beginning of the podcast, which was I'm not looking for someone that is in tip-top shape, but I do want someone that's at least average. I want them to look like they kind of give a shit about what they put into their body. Like, if you're morbidly obese, I mean, sometimes they have health issues, so I'm not going to judge, but usually those people don't really care about what's going into their body, and they don't care about themselves. They're not confident in themselves. They're not positive people. They're just sad, and that their body is a reflection of their personality and what they put into it.
Ooh, I like that.
Pretty good.
Yeah,
Put that in a fortune cookie. I like that.
We can get our own fortunes, man.
Oh, that's very true.
Yeah, no, I know. I mean, obviously, jumping back from what Jess said, especially in the beginning, I know one thing that raised my ears was like when. I mean, obviously, that's kind of. I feel like I kind of knew it because I've heard other people say it. But whenever I hear a girl say it, when they say like, "Oh, I'm not looking for the most fit guy," but at the same time, she said exactly like, "I'm not looking for the most not fit guy either." So I think that's also like. It's just weird. You movies and you see all these things. I feel like watching movies and all these different things, like, and especially Instagram or social media, you just have this portrayal of like, I don't know, like guys who are like with the 6-pack get the girl in that sense. So it's kind of like, I think exactly what she said is like, I think that it shows some relief for some of us who try to work out.
I mean, I've had both ends of the spectrum. I've had the blonde-haired, blue-eyed guy with like an 8-pack, you know, and I mean, his personality was awful, so it kind of made him ugly on the outside. And he had this wonderful body. And I've had the, you know, chubby, tattooed guy with a beard. And I mean, I've had both sides of the spectrum, and I think. As long as I'm attracted to you physically and your personality is there, then I'm okay with who you are. Like, I need both. Like, I don't care if you have an 8-pack or if you're a little bit on the chubbier side. I mean, if you attract me because for whatever reason it was that I was attracted to, if the personality is there, then I'm going to stay.
What would you say, just looking at the exterior, but assuming that the internal was great, but what number would you say from 1 to 10 had to break your wall for them to get in?
10 doesn't exist.
Or like, what do you say, 6 or 7 gets to you, or 6 and higher gets to you, and then the personality is obviously has to be there.
Do you mean like what I would rate look wise before I would like?
What number are you looking for? Like, if you're a 5 and up, yes. If you're anything below 5, don't talk to me. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah, something like that.
I mean, I guess it would be like a 5 and up because 10 don't exist. So a 5 and up, I mean, yeah.
5 to 9.
5 to 9. Oh, yeah.
I mean, everyone has their own version of what a 10 is, but let's be realistic. We don't date 10s.
Everyone has their own version of what a 5 is, too. I mean, like, what I find attractive, you know, my girlfriend might not find attractive and vice versa. So, I mean, everyone is subjective to what it is that they're into. I mean...
She's throwing so much knowledge.
I think that's the most realistic, the way she approached that question, because there's plenty of people that could easily say, oh... I expect 8 to 10. Oh
god, no, this is going too high. Like, bro, if you're not an 8 or 10, don't expect an 8 and 10.
But think about it, even if you did find, all right, I know we're playing devil's advocate now, but if you did find an 8 to 10 now, think of sometimes the amount of stress that could lead to somebody oh, now I gotta impress. I gotta, you know, it's like it's not healthy. So I think that thing bringing it down is not a bad idea.
Maybe it explains why some like really ugly guys date some really, really attractive women, and you're like, what am I doing wrong?
For real.
Why is that 3 dating a 9? And
I mean, I've been there with the one guy that I was with that was ripped, and you know, like I would put him on the 9 scale.
Were you the 3?
And I felt like a 3. Yeah, pretty much. That's exactly what it boiled down to. I felt like a 3 because he was so attractive that I felt so unattractive that I felt like I had to try harder to impress him.
Yeah.
You know, and like if he didn't answer my text, like, you know, my heart was racing. Like, why isn't he answering me? Is he not into me anymore? Because, you know, I'm not up to his standard of, you know, like hotness, I guess, you know.
Yeah, no,
you kind of. I mean, now I feel like that I was also much younger at that point in time. I feel like I'm much more confident in who I am as a woman, more so than when I was a girl. But when I was younger, I was like, oh, I have to impress. I have to be something I'm not because he was so hot to me, you know. And now I look at him, and no offense to him if he's listening, but now I look at him and I'm like, you're really not that great. Your personality kind of sucks. You have no ambition. You have no direction on what you're doing in life. Yeah, maybe you have abs, but what's that going to do for you at the end of the day?
Yeah.
Modeling career.
Like, how many people are your abs going to keep with you? Like, your for 4, 6, those are your friends right there, because you're not going to have any
Those
others.
are the close friends.
Yeah, it's the closest friends he's going to have. So
Yeah, I think looks are very important, but I think the main point is personality.
They do say looks eventually fade. You know,
Yeah,
if
it's
you're
true.
going to be with that person, you're going to marry that person. They're going to be your one. Looks do eventually fade. So if their personality's not there,
Just
then
gonna see
you're
your
not
face
going to
every day. I'm like, oh, it's just you.
but a shitty personality doesn't.
Oh god, now you don't want to be stuck with a shitty
So
personality.
as we're speaking about looks, I know last week we talked about online dating. You said you were going to join a Darwin dating website. Did you ever get approved for that? The Beautiful People website?
What the fuck are you talking about?
Oh, the beautiful website.
The Beautiful People website.
Sorry, bro, I think you'd
Did you ever
get
get
like,
approved for it? Oh,
Remember?
you're still waiting on the application. Okay.
the beautiful people. Like
back
you had
to
to put an
I
application.
said that?
Yeah,
I said that last week?
yeah.
No, I didn't. Get the fuck out of here.
We need to like set up a way we can listen to our old podcast and just get the clip.
I do. I need to start editing clips. I'm playing them. But, let us know how it goes next week, all right? See if you get in there. So, good body is always good. But I think we all understand personality is stronger.
Obviously, but
So we'll jump into number 10 here, and that's hobbies. How important is hobbies to you?
oof.
Now, I know hobbies kind of shows like a passion. They have a passion for something. So it could be a good and bad. It depends on what kind of hobby, I guess,
Oh
they
my
would
goodness,
have.
I could totally hop in on this. Hobbies. Jean-Claude and I had this conversation yesterday. Video games. I despise video games. I am not a video game person. I'm okay if you like to do them every now and then, but if you're going to spend 8, 9, 10 hours playing video games, then I am so totally turned off. Like, you can be doing better things with your life in those 8, 9, 10 hours than sitting in front of a freaking computer screen or PS4 or Xbox playing video games. It drives me bonkers. It's awful. I don't know why it causes such a rage in me, but I just hate video games.
Guru Dan, what do you have to say to that?
Nothing bad.
I mean,
everyone has their own
I know
things.
to each their own. I know guys like video games. Some guys are really into sports, but me personally, I mean, everyone has their own thing. Me personally, it just grinds my gears. Video games, like I just don't
Oh,
like
Peter
them.
Griffin here.
we're gonna have a little segment each
That
week.
really grinds my gears.
Grinds my gears by Jess.
It does. I don't know what it is about video games. I don't know. I think it's just because like it bothers me that someone spends that much time on something like that when they can be doing other things. I guess
Or
maybe
is
that's
it
what
they're
it is.
spending more times on a video game than you?
No, that was never a thing. It's like, you have work in the morning and you're staying up until 3, 4 a.m. playing a game. You're going to be tired going to work the following day. Then you're not performing your job at your best, and then you open the door to possibly getting written up or getting fired because you made a mistake at work. I know me, if I'm tired at work and I make a mistake, that's my ass on the line because these women are spending $6,000, $7,000 on medication. If I make a mistake, I'm fired. So I don't know. I think it's because I like kind of project my worry on whomever I'm with. Like, you need to be responsible. If it's a weekend, whatever, it is what it is. But, like, if you're doing that during the week and you're spending all these hours, like, there's probably a laundry list of things you could have done in the time that you spent all those hours playing the video game. I don't know. It's a personal thing.
I
really
agree.
grinds her
every
gears.
Every woman is different. Every guy is different
Yeah.
on what they look for. And to people, video
I'm
games
all
is a
about
big
Jess
turnoff.
time. So if they're doing their own thing and not hanging out with me, it's cool because I'm all about my Jess time. You do you, and I'm going to go out and do me. But
Yeah.
I know.
Jacobs or John
Well,
Club.
I don't know. It's tough with hobbies. You know what? Like I consider laying down
Laying Netflix.
watching Netflix, Hulu, or Amazon.
That's a hobby.
Is that a hobby?
That's a hobby.
Is that a hobby? What's a
I
hobby?
think that's a pastime, maybe.
I don't know, because when I think hobbies, like, oh, what are your hobbies? I think, like, okay, give me your resume.
know,
Because
like-
remember when we were in, like, high school, they told you to put your hobbies on your resume?
I think hobbies are something that you do on a daily basis, not watching
What-
TV, like a sport or collecting
I feel
something.
like hobbies is like fishing, knitting, crocheting,
Oh,
reading
God, it
books.
sounds-
Hold on.
Foreign as
How
fuck.
That's what
often?
I'm saying, like-
how often do you have to do it for it to be considered a hobby?
But I think at least 3 times a week.
Fuck, do I do 3? No,
Keep it G-rated.
never mind.
All right.
I mean, I go to the gym a lot, but I consider that a lifestyle. That's not a hobby.
That's a hobby.
It's a hobby and a
That's a
lifestyle,
lifestyle.
I think. Fitness, that's your lifestyle, but
it's-
that's your hobby.
Yeah,
It's
but
your-
that falls.
it's what
Yeah,
you
of
like
course,
to do.
falls in
Yeah.
their hobby.
It's an activity you do that's excluding your work time.
I like eating.
I mean,
I
if
think
you're
anything activity-wise is a hobby.
anything aside
Except
from
watching Netflix.
watching TV and working, I think would fall. Like if you're someone who's an animal lover and you like volunteering at a shelter, I think that's a hobby. You're
yes.
a volunteer.
Yeah.
I like petting cats.
So
And eating
how
food.
important is a hobby to you guys?
Yeah, I can umbrella that, I guess. Petting cats.
What? Well, my cats don't have anything to do. Like, come here, darkness. I love you.
You run the shelter in your backyard, all right?
Yeah,
we went through this already.
Community is expanding.
It's a lot of cats.
JFabs, how important is hobbies to you?
Hobbies.
And your partner?
And my other significant individual that I don't have. But how important is it? I think hobbies is like obviously it's what you do on your spare time, excluding work, excluding some other things you have to take care of. So I think it's where are you? How do I word this?
I was more asking you how important is it for her to have a hobby?
I think that's very important. It shows me what her passions, but also at the same time, I like to see how she utilizes her time. How does she utilize her 24 hours? I mean, is she de-stressing and just, I can understand you have a stressful job, then one of your hobbies might be to just de-stress. You need to balance yourself back up. You need to get yourself equilibrium. So I get it, but at the same time, it shouldn't. I don't believe. For me, I wouldn't want someone who's just like, oh, I just want to sit on that couch again because it's calling my name. I mean,
dude, I love that couch. I'm sorry.
I'd love to go on a freaking hike. I know I've brought that up on previous podcasts, but just being outdoors, I think that's a great hobby. I think that's also great mentally for you. Camping, just getting outdoors, getting away from your social media, just take a few steps back. I think that's great. So if that's a hobby that someone likes to do, escaping and de-stressing, I think they have a good self-awareness of themselves. So they're kind of like, okay, let me bring myself back up to above water because I'm everything else that's going on. I need to really catch myself. So I think hobbies that balance out yourselves, I think are great. So my opinion on it.
Hold on, I still have a problem with hobbies, man, because, when people just say, when you tell me, if I go up to a girl and ask her for her hobbies, her top 3 hobbies, what am I going to get?
Honestly, I can answer that for you because I never know how to answer that fucking question because I don't like when people ask me, so what do you do for fun? What are your hobbies? I'm like, I don't know. I work all the damn time. I hang out with my dogs. Does that count?
Yeah.
Does it count?
I'm like, I take
your own dog.
I'm like on my free time. Yeah. On my free time, I like to take my dogs to the dog park. That's a hobby. Hobby. I mean, that's pretty much. And I work. I take my dogs out and I work. That's all I do.
Well, what are I don't know the definition of a hobby off the top of my head, but I feel like a hobby should be something that takes away from your work and should balance you in that sense. If it's being with family, if it's being walking your dog or petting your
personally,
cat.
if it wasn't always raining in this godforsaken state, then I would be going out and I would be going on hikes and I would be doing more things outside. Yeah. But it's always raining.
A hobby is an activity done regularly. And one's leisure time for pleasure.
Pleasure. That's
an example.
Jean-Claude,
her hobby are reading
use the
and
hobby
gardening.
you were thinking.
Yeah. But and if you also look at those two things, reading and gardening, okay, those are examples.
Gardening. Oh, okay.
And we could say those are forms of de-stressing, forms of relaxing.
I think hobbies are supposed to be there to de-stress and relax. I think that's what it's made for.
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm thinking of it as. And I think, or maybe that's just my own definition of it, because that's how I see it. You need to keep yourself sane, You go through work, you go through family.
Hobby is also a very good way to bind with your significant other. Why don't you join her on her hobby?
I just realized if someone asked me, what do you like to do? What's your hobby? I'd be like, I run a podcast with my friends.
Another form of de-stressing, to be honest, in some sense.
We're creating a bond.
Technically a hobby.
We're creating a bond. We're getting together.
If you like to play music, that's a hobby. You like to jam out and whatever.
DJ J Febs on the spinner.
I don't know. To me, it's weird when people ask the question, what do you do for fun? If I have time for fun, I like to literally not do anything because ain't no time. I got 1 hour. You know what I'm going to do that 1 hour? I'm going to fucking... Well, it's that's me. I don't consider the gym a hobby because it's a lifestyle. It's like going to work because you have to be there. I don't know. It's just the hobby thing is give me your resume. I'm going to read the first 3 hobbies you put on your resume. Because in high school when they told you to do that,
yes,
employers really want to look at that. If you guys are young and you guys are listening to this, I'll tell you right now, that's bullshit.
I don't think an employer wants to know I like to go camping on my free time.
Yeah.
I've always found that question very hard to answer. What are your hobbies? What do you do for fun? And I'm like, how do I not answer this and sound dull? Because I'm like, I like to relax and hang out with my friends. I mean, isn't that the same answer everyone's going to give to you?
It's definitely one of the toughest questions because then you have to evaluate yourself.
Because you know what you do on a regular basis, but you don't know how to. Sometimes you don't know how to present it, or you forget what you do on a daily basis. I wake up, I play some games. I forget. I forgot I play a video game for a couple hours.
Yeah.
It's just something that you forget about.
I think it's the receiver too. It's when they're asking you, what is the receiver looking for?
Yeah, what are they hopeful for, and the answer that you're going to give them.
Exactly. So,
I mean, if I tell them I like to lay in the silence in a dark room, that totally sounds kind of weird. But if you understood, what I do for work, I'm constantly. I work in a call center, so I'm on the phone all day from the minute I clock in until the minute I leave. So sometimes I just want to be in a dark, silent room and just lay there.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to know though the background as to why I'd like to lay down in just silence and do nothing for like 30 minutes.
They need the backstory.
Pretty much thinking about life, just being in the silence and just relaxing. Like not on social media, not scrolling. Your phone, my phone is off. It's plugged in, charging, whatever in the other room, and I'm just laying there and just hanging out.
It's like meditating in some sense.
Sometimes, yeah. Sometimes you just need it. Shut the world out.
Right. It's true.
Amen. So now we established hobbies are very important. How about this next one? How important is intelligence?
That should be a given.
Like you don't have to be a genius, but a person who can hold a conversation.
Yeah,
I don't date people that are dumb like rocks. However, I don't want to date like an astrophysicist either, because then I feel like I'm dumb like rocks.
You want someone with like common knowledge.
Yeah, I want
common knowledge. That's a good way of putting it.
I want someone that is book smart and street smart. Like sometimes you meet someone who's very intellectual, but they lack regular common sense, and it kind of makes you wonder, like, how did you survive up until this
you
point?
forgot to put deodorant on.
Yeah,
pretty much. Or like they're very, very gullible people, and like they fall for everything, and you're like, no, people in this world are not nice. Like, do not fall for every nice thing someone says. I think average. If you're a little on the smarter side, that's great, because I love, hearing things. I love learning things from the person I'm with. But I don't want someone that didn't, not that they have to go to college, but I want someone that's at least somewhat educated. Like, know what you're talking about. Watch the news. Like, know what's going on,
God, I hate politics so much.
Who said anti-politics?
Who's freaking politics?
It just be about the current events.
Pretty much.
Hey, did you know...
Like, I get my news from Facebook, all right?
Oh, my God. I can't believe what I'm hearing.
Don't tell anyone that.
Oh, my God.
You know what? I'll guarantee you, if you ask people that, yeah, I saw it on Facebook yesterday.
What, though? It's true, because that's this generation.
And half of their shit is fake anyways.
But they believe it because they don't check their sources.
That's true.
Check your sources.
Check your sources,
Go on
people.
CNN every day for at least an hour.
Google it.
Some people would argue CNN.
Oh, God.
But let's not get into that.
Let's not get into that. We'll be here for hours.
There's a whole thing with that.
We'll be here for hours.
CNN and Fox?
Oh, God, no, don't know.
All right, so intelligence, A+. Be there. Don't got to be super smart. Just common knowledge. Next, something that we shouldn't have to bring up, but we're going to bring up, and that's manners. Manners are supposed to be common sense, being polite, doing the right thing.
You know what? Manners is important, but I find it more important if you're going to introduce the significant other to family. If you don't have manners... Get the fuck out.
Like you ain't me and my family.
I mean, but you got to also look at it, though, situationally, because, my parents are Portuguese. They're immigrants. I was the firstborn here. So what they would see as something that's disrespectful, maybe an Italian Jersey-born person wouldn't see that way. So, I mean, like, maybe you kind of have to prepare them also. I mean... Manners, like regular everyday manners, is one thing, but sometimes they might do something that is rude, or might say something or act a certain way, like I know with my one friend, like if you go in the house with shoes on, that's very disrespectful, but I know that because I've known her for so many years, but someone I bring in might have no idea and walk all over the house in dirty shoes, and then, I feel like stuff like that, maybe you kind of have to pre-warn somebody.
Those are, I guess, a little different in manners, because there's something that you're not aware of. But I understand what you're saying, definitely.
I mean, even manners too, in a sense where if you're dating somebody, you kind of test them and like, oh, let me see, does he pull out the chair for me? Does he?
That's more chivalry, which we're gonna get into.
Chivalry. I'm jumping your gun right now.
Yeah.
But
is that your next?
I'll give you manners in the sense of I've dated people that have called me every name in the book. I've dated people that we've gotten into arguments and never once have cursed at me or said anything disrespectful. So I think manners in that aspect is important, because you can be angry and still be respectful.
Oh, yeah, of course.
You don't
Yeah.
have to call someone, an asshole or a dick or every other word that can come to mind if you're upset. You can speak with them in an intellectual way, because, smarts is important. And not disrespect them while you're having conversation. I think that's also where becoming an adult comes into play. Because when you're young, you just
Maturity.
You're spitfire. You're saying everything that you can to hurt them. But as an adult, you actually have a conversation and try to get to the root of the problem.
Yeah,
so I think
'cause- yeah, of
manners
course.
plays a big role in it.
Because you're not always going to agree with every single thing that you guys
And you
are going to want to
shouldn't,
do.
and you really shouldn't, 'cause you're not the
I think
same
I think it's
person.
healthy you don't.
Yeah, and you're not the same person,
Because
so.
if you guys never argue, obviously someone's just going along with what the other's saying, and you're just
Being
withholding.
a people pleaser.
Exactly, and you're withholding a lot of things within, and eventually you're going to pop.
Yep.
So-
Exactly.
All right, manners. Next thing that we got. We're almost done with the list, by the way. We're on number 13. 13.
He can't count people.
No, actually, I skipped the number because I don't like that one anymore. So number 13 is cooking skills. The way to everyone's heart. Now, you know what? This is a different kind of subject because you know what? This isn't only for girls. We expect the guys to know how to cook too. All the pressure doesn't have to be on the girl. To
No,
cook.
it's true. It shouldn't be on the girl. This is the 21st century. This is not 1950s in Portugal where it's like only the woman.
And if somehow you both don't know how to cook, take a cooking class. Easy as that.
I mean, they got Uber Eats. They got DoorDash.
Yo,
They got
Uber
YouTube.
Eats.
Grubhub.
Learn.
Yeah, Gordon Ramsay's classes on YouTube. Yo, watch him. He makes some mean food right there. I mean, cooking skills, I'm not gonna lie. I don't have the best cooking skills.
Yeah, you cook chicken a lot and rice.
Yeah, I basically cook the things you eat if you want to get lean and cut or be healthy. But I make some mean ass eggs. I love eggs.
How many times you watch that
Boiled?
Gordon Ramsay egg cook?
Which egg?
Gordon Ramsay cooking eggs, teaching how to cook eggs.
Oh no, I just cook eggs like I usually do. I watch a lot of other chefs do different things to eggs.
Scramble.
Do different
Is that
things
what we're
to
talking
eggs.
about here?
No, I'll do. Let's get into a cooking. Do you know the perfect way to make scrambled eggs is actually on a cold pan? You start off cold pan, put butter, you melt the butter just a smidge, then you throw in the eggs, and then you let the butter heat into the eggs while as the pan
This
is also
actually
rising.
a different podcast. It's called Salt Added.
Whatever. Point is, I mean, I make some mean ass eggs. Yeah, you want breakfast? You're set with me.
But what if you see her after 12? Like, is there like what else can you cook? Like,
He can make a mean grilled cheese.
Yeah. Throw
Here,
some.
you want a plain chicken breast? Boom, there you go.
Want some brown rice and beans? Bop, bop. You want a protein shake? 'Cause I got tons of those.
Yeah.
Shit, that's not a problem.
But I think too, though, like it's so like even if you don't know how to cook, it's so easy to pull up a YouTube video on your phone in seconds.
Dude, even the boxes have directions on them. Like,
Yeah. To be honest, with you, packages have directions on them.
Hold on. I'm really glad this one person is in here because she make the fucking fun of me right now. Yeah, they can have directions, but you know what? Sometimes you follow them and it doesn't come out. Like, I can't cook pasta correctly.
I didn't know how to cook pasta.
It says 9 minutes for al dente, bro. I'll have a timer. I'll have 2 timers, and then I'll set the clock right on the kitchen, right on the oven. Go. 9 minutes are up. I taste it. I
Do
think
you let
it's
the
okay.
water boil first?
Yeah, let the water boil.
You're not
about
supposed
that.
to let the water boil first when you make pasta, gentlemen.
That's what it says on the box.
No.
You see, the
That's what's
box
in the box.
lies.
How do you fuck up pasta?
It says on the box you have to put the water to a boil, then add pasta.
Yeah, I guess you can do that. I don't know. You can.
And you're
there's
supposed, to
many
throw, you're
different
supposed to throw that
options.
shit at the wall and see if it sticks or not.
I don't know.
Yes,
Point
you're
is,
supposed to throw it at the wall. You're right. And see
oh
if
yeah,
it
it's
sticks.
supposed to stick.
Yeah.
I'm
Does
gonna
your
throw-
shit
Don't
stick?
actually do that though, because you'll
Mine
get
was-
yelled at by
mine
your
tasted
significant
like
other.
ass.
Don't do that.
Okay, the girl said like, "What is this?" She like shook it and like, "This is not even al dente." Threw it on the floor and like,
What
"Do it
was
again."
it? Was it mushad? Was it all squished and gross?
No, it was still like somewhat hard.
Oh, how about
Look.
the pasta?
Oh. If I threw pasta at the wall, my tiny grandma would beat me with a spoon.
I was gonna say, do not throw pasta at the wall.
Done yet?
Damn.
Oh man! All right, cooking somewhat important, but not a deal breaker.
I mean, it's not the first thing you look for in a person when you meet them. Like, can you cook? You can't. Well, this is not going
You know
anywhere.
what?
Well,
Most
that's
people
actually
don't know how
like
to
a
cook anymore.
Jeff level status right there. You know, when I met him for the first time, asking me if I can cook. Well, why the fuck does it matter?
I don't think any man should just be going at a woman like, "Hey, can you cook?" not the same
or
age.
saying that they miss your skin.
Stick around and find out.
Right now we're going to be jumping on to number 14, and that is a sense of fashion. How big of a deal is the fashion?
I mean, honestly, the only thing that matters to me in the sense of fashion, you look presentable to where we're going. Okay, let's
Just
go.
wear a sundress every day, anywhere you go.
I mean, sundress is good. But I mean, like, we're going to the gym. You're not what Jess is wearing. If you come like that to the gym, I'm gonna be like, go back home and go get changed right now.
Damn.
Follow up to that, Jess.
Well, I mean, I'm in jeans, and I'm in, I don't know, how would you describe my shirt, Jean-Claude?
A shirt.
A tank top?
No, it's not a tank top. It's like a shirt that wanted to be a dress.
I see, okay.
But then it decided it didn't want to be a dress. It wanted to be a little bit of both.
Sure, we'll go with that. And I'm
then-
also in heels. So I think
Yeah.
if I go to the gym like this, I probably have an issue.
Point is, you know what? Like, you want to dress bummy? Okay, that means we're going to Walmart. Don't come to a restaurant looking like a bum.
Dress
Take it to Walmart Subway?
Dress
accordingly, people.
Dress accordingly. That's my only thing with fashion. Dress according to where we're going.
I
That's
second
it.
that statement.
Don't take out your gray sweatpants and your Uggs thinking you're going to the restaurant like that, because that's a hard no.
I hate that. Like,
You're going to stay home, I'll
Goodness.
order your food, you'll eat it here in a cold styrofoam box.
depending on what kind of restaurant we go to, please just don't wear a regular t-shirt. Like, that bothers
Don't what?
the shit out of me. Don't wear a regular t-shirt to a nice restaurant. That bothers me so much. I hate when people do that. If you're going to a nice fancy place, wear something more presentable. Wear a button down, and girl,
Always.
wear a nice top, not a regular
A
shirt.
tank top that wanted to
bothers
be a
me.
tank top and also a dress at the same
That
time.
bothers me so much.
Word. So yeah, people dress
Hey,
accordingly.
No, I think you guys all hit the nail on the head when it comes to.
How did I know you're going to say that?
But at least it was like a dual metaphor. The other one was like something with a fish.
Oh my
The
god!
fish.
Thank God we didn't bring
There's
this.
plenty
Please
of
don't bring the
fish
fish
in the
back.
sea.
No.
What
He
about
said
it?
some. No, he said some
forget.
other weird
No.
metaphor.
There is plenty of fish in the sea unless you're on POF, and then you're like in
I think
the.
he said that.
Then
Did
you're
he say
like
that? No.
deep sea fish, and we all know what those deep sea fish look like.
No, you said something with a metaphor. Like
I have it recorded in a small wave. I'll send it to you. It's fucking ridiculous.
It's fucking amazing. But yeah, I mean, oh man, I don't know. Something about people who dress nice. I don't know. That's just me. Like, because I mean, I expect to dress pretty well. Like, I mean, a nice jacket.
oh god, but
I
I
got
don't know.
tons of jackets. I don't know. I just have a pretty deep wardrobe. And I think I have a pretty good wardrobe. So then I expect her to have a pretty good wardrobe. But I think it's also too what you're looking for. Are you looking for a reflection of yourself in some sense, or do you got to give and take? I think. But also, hey, you can't go wrong with gym clothes. I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like what are those men that are like really into fashion? Metros? Is that what they're called?
Metrosexual.
Like
men.
metrosexuals. Like I would never do well with a metrosexual because I don't care that much about my fashion to be with someone like that. Like someone who takes pride in what they wear and dresses accordingly, that's fine. But if your eyebrows look nicer than mine, like we're not going to work.
Damn eyebrows. Okay, comment down.
Got those
Drew.
eyebrows done. Yeah, for sure, definitely. So, what was it? Oh, good fashion. So now that our fashion is done, everyone good on that?
Yeah.
All right, we'll jump into 15, which is a big deal for me personally, is a sense of humor. Like a girl that can make me laugh is definitely getting bonus points.
I mean, no, go
I think
ahead.
it's also too being natural. I think when you're natural and comfortable with yourself, it kind of just flows. You can be yourself. You can be playful, and at the same time, you can be serious when you need to be. And I think I think when you're being yourself, you have some humorous moments, and I think that's
That was a very weird way of putting it. Like all I just said was a sense of humor. Like,
no sense of humor. It's the same way. You take an act when someone says something. You also have to laugh, or you have to be able to converse. I would say it flow. No, you don't get none of that.
I don't know. Like to me, a sense of humor, like it is important, but it's like how to explain it. Like it does have to come naturally, obviously.
Yeah, like you're not gonna force it.
I mean, you don't. The person doesn't need to make me laugh every single time. You know what? Make me giggle. Like, huh. Okay, that's a weird giggle. Never mind.
Those are the last.
that's his real giggle, by the way.
I mean, I think humor is important. I mean, like was said, it does need to come naturally. You can't force it. I mean, and you'll see when someone's trying too hard. You just have to be you. But if the other person doesn't get your humor, it kind of makes it awkward.
True.
Yeah, yeah. And
like,
I've
just
and
sit
I've
there silently.
encountered this before, like recently actually, because someone I'm talking to doesn't get my humor, and it kind of just like I don't know how to explain it. Like I have a very sarcastic kind of humor and personality, so most things that I say I don't actually mean, or I'm not being 100% serious, but the other person does take it seriously, so they respond like they answer the joking statement that I said, and I'm like, that's not, like, it was a joke, like, no, like, I'm trying to come up with an example of what would be like how I was talking to Jean-Claude about before with the pasta, and he's like, no, it was still hard, and I'm like, the pasta too? And he laughed because he understands my humor, because we've been friends since we were like 8. But this other person who's going to remain nameless in this podcast, if I'm like, oh, the pasta too, and they're like, yeah, that's what I'm. Yeah, the pasta is hard. That's what I'm saying. And then the whole joke is just kind of like someone just popped my balloon, and the balloon's deflating, because it's kind of like, what a letdown. Like what a letdown. Yeah, and he's like that all the time with all my jokes, and I'm like, this is so not going to work.
I guess it really depends on the kind of sense of humor, because there's quite a few different kinds of humor out there. You got the ones that are actually trying to be funny. You got the ones that are assholes.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
True.
don't give me no asshole jokes.
And then you're the ones. There are ones who have like a dry sense. That's
dry,
that to me is like, yo, you have a dry sense of humor. Man, that's tough. I mean, I don't know.
I don't understand a dry sense of humor. Do you have like an example for a dry sense of humor? Because I've heard that before, and I feel like I don't necessarily know
like,
if I understand it.
The jokes we make.
Yes.
If I said that to certain people, they wouldn't understand
What
this
jokes?
joke.
Because we do plenty of jokes. We have lots of jokes.
Like our bok bok joke.
Yes. Is that a dry sense of humor?
I
We're
go to-
strange, by the way.
If I go up
people.
to someone and be like, bok bok, and then explain to them, they'll be like, what?
Like, give you
Why?
that, like, half crinkled smile.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah.
Yeah, like,
okay.
they won't understand it. Like, I guess you just have to find people with, like, the same type of sense of humor as you do. Like, because...
So you and I are just both equally just strange.
Yeah, I mean...
Yeah, you guys are weird as fuck. But
we make jokes because we understand it. Well, hold on, we got a chicken joke, a goat joke. Damn it, I forgot
We have
the
an
jokes.
April Cornell joke.
Or April Cornell.
We've got lots of jokes.
Got the whole farm going there.
He looks
Yeah,
like a joke.
we're trying to go for a whole farm. I just forget the other joke.
He looks like a joke. That's what it is. Oh.
Hey, shots fired. Sense of humor, ladies and gentlemen.
That's true.
All right, sense of humor, A+.
Yeah, I mean, it is important. It is important. I mean, if the person isn't driving with your sense of humor,
We got to vibe.
Sorry.
If we don't vibe, then
Yeah,
you're out.
like try to find someone who you can equally, like, you both find laughs in each other because you both have somewhat the same sense of humor. You can make this dumb joke and they'll totally get it, and you don't have to over-explain or over-simplify the joke for them.
About why the pasta's hard.
Exactly.
Like those kinds of jokes. Yeah.
Fuck the pasta. That's why I don't cook spaghetti or any type of pasta ever.
Spaghetti and meatballs.
I can't. It's a spicy meatball. Sorry.
Can't forget the hand. So, sense of humor, good. Beautiful thing. We all need it.
We all want it.
So, family relationship, being family oriented, big thing for you guys?
Oh, I can totally hop on this one. So family oriented. Okay. So my thing that I've come to terms with and I've accepted is when I'm dating someone, I look for someone that does have a large family and that they're close to, because I really don't have a large family. It's just pretty much, like my parents and my brother and, his wife and his kids. Like my family is very small. So if they have a large family, I feel like I kind of bond with the family as well. So I kind of, not only am I with them, but then I kind of take their family as my own. I make them my own family as well. So I do want someone that has a large family and is close to their family. I've never actually dated someone that doesn't have a large family, so I don't even know what it would be like to date someone that has a similar family sense to mine. Something that I'm also attracted in with dating is that they do have a large family and that they're close with them and, cousins, aunts, uncles, and everything in between. So I feel like if they're close to their family, it is important. I feel like they should have some sort of, family orientation with them. It shows that they're also going to be a family person when they get older.
I agree. It's a very big thing for me as well, being family oriented.
I don't know. I mean, if you are, you are. If you're not, you're not. If you're not, it's probably because you have some issues, and those are your own issues. I don't know. I consider myself a family person, but I'm only really close to my nuclear family, like my extended family, like not really that close.
Yeah, brothers, sisters, couple cousins.
barely even my cousins. Maybe once maybe once a year I'll talk to them. But in reality, I'm talking to my mom, my grandma, my dad, my brothers and sisters, and that's it. Oh, and of course, her husband and our cats and her cats. Cats are family too.
Yeah, the cat family.
You know, but honestly, to me, like, if someone asks me, like, oh, you know, like, are you close to family? I also consider friends family. So, like,
Oh,
Oh, bonding moment. Bonding moment.
yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
Like to me, yeah, people ask for, like, what, nuclear family? Yeah, of course. My other family, my friends, yeah, definitely. But I don't know. That's like, that's, to me, I don't really care. That's life.
No, yeah, I think I'm the same way with Jean-Claude. It's like I have a small family, so I just really I look out for the ones that are here or that I live with, you know, aunts, uncles, and that's kind of about it. I don't really. I'm sure I have other family, but have I ever met them or have I ever been introduced to them? Maybe not. I don't even know of them, to be honest with you, but I know of my immediate family, so I would, you know, that's my family. You know,
I'll adopt you. You can join my family.
I don't want to join your family.
I'm trying to think of his last name. It'd be JG. Because then you take over his family's last name as well.
No. I like my.
Can you imagine?
I like
that?
my abbreviations.
You don't want the last name Joffrey?
Nah, I'm okay. Sorry.
Pepperoni. So we got two more left, and then we're going to close it out here. So a ready ear, and by that I mean a good listener, someone who shows genuine interest in what you're saying, and how they react to what you're saying.
I think. Well, hold on.
Like, you know, you're talking to me, I'm like this.
Well, hold on. That reaction thing, actually, me and Jess actually had a conversation not too long ago that we don't, like, we're good listeners, but we don't know how to interact with people when they're crying.
Yes, we
that's a
are
tough
very
one.
awkward people.
like-
I'm all about being your shoulder to cry on, but don't actually ask me to do anything because I don't know how to react.
Like,
you
should
crying
I
on
hug
my
you?
shoulder. Like, you could totally cry on my shoulder all day, but I don't know how to help the
completely
person
agree
crying
on
on my
that.
shoulder.
That's so, like, and some people, they know what to do, but to me, I'm like,
you can sit there, do whatever you got to do. Like, if you ask me a question, I'm gonna try to Google something real quick.
Yeah, like
how to handle someone who's crying.
pretty much.
Because I don't know how to answer those type of questions. Those are tough, and it really depends on the issue at hand.
What was the topic again?
Good listener.
A good listener.
A good listener. I think I'm a good listener.
I'm a great listener. I can sit there all day. If you're boring as hell, I'll put a fake ass smile on.
That's not a good listener.
Whoa!
Though.
All right, let's get
That's not a good
real.
listener.
That's a good listener. I'm
No.
still listening. I'm still listening.
Like, a good listener is supposed to be someone that can, like, recount, like, okay, what.
A good listener would be how, you know, Jean-Claude and my relationship is, where him and we have pros and cons lists for my issues in my life, and we
Oh, yeah,
talk
you always
and
gotta
we
make it pros
drink
and
wine
cons.
and we go over these issues
Pros
because
and
he's a good
cons.
listener and he also gives me direction in life.
You had to, like, first of all, that's a terrible thing. You just put on a fake smile.
First of all,
Because, hold on.
I listen to everything. Just because you're saying something boring, I doesn't mean I'm gonna have.
Well, you
one
said,
smile.
like, if you're boring as hell, I'm going to put a fake smile. Like, but does that mean
fake
you're
smile? But I'm still listening.
Maybe you're not supposed to put a smile on,
Like,
like, oh,
you know
my
what?
cat died. Like, like, no, pay attention. Like, oh, okay.
Well,
That's
then
what
I'll
you
put a semi smile. and look traumatized.
Bro, you look curious to that. Like, no.
Like, the point is, I'll listen to it, but if it's boring, I'm gonna make a face expression to whatever it needs to be.
True. Look, listen, a good listener is key. You want someone who can, if they have no good advice, cool, but at least be the person that you'll listen to everything they have to say because they need to de-stress. They need
I
to
got advice.
Vent. They need to vent. Just be that person like, yo, she is a bitch. You should get that promotion. You should make sure she trips down the, oh, never mind. I'm not going to give you advice on that like that. You know, be that person. I don't know. Like, you should get that person fired. Straight up, let's find a legal team. Let's see if you have legal action. Let's go.
You know what? When the time comes, I can always give great advice. Talk to me about your
Yes, you
problems.
drink that 8th margarita. You go, girl.
Look, exactly. You know, keep them drinking. That's the best way to go.
Okay, yeah, that's true.
You know what? You know, when Jean-Claude tells me his problems, I just light a bottle of wine to him.
Yeah, that's
and
true.
it fixes problems.
You know what, though? Wine really is our Lord and Savior. It solves. It solves all.
I got wine addicts here.
Thank you, Jesus.
I love wine. I'm such a
unless,
wino.
Unless if it's rosé, then no.
Wino.
I hate rose.
We actually had some rosé today.
We did.
It tasted
Give
weird.
me a red or throw the shit out.
I mean, I don't judge. I do red, I do white, rosé, all the in-betweens, whatever. All the shades are cool with me.
Some Smirnoffs.
Ew, not that.
Some wine coolers.
Ugh.
Oh boy! All right, so good listener is a good thing. And now, you got anything else to add?
When is a good listener not a good thing?
I don't know. We didn't hear much from JFabs about
It's
good.
like if you're confessing to a crime and you're hoping the person forgets about it because you sporadically just wanted to confess to a crime, maybe not being a good listener would be a good thing. Maybe being
A fake smiled listener.
I think you also have to detect what a good listener is. So how do you detect a good listener? Recalling that conversation
exactly
at a different opportunity that you get to, like, oh, remember that time I said, oh, what did I say? You know, like, because obviously, what's a good listener? Somebody who can recall something that you said to them previously. So you want to make sure they're listening plenty of the times that you're speaking, you know, but also you want to talk with them for, you know, an extended amount of time, and then you also want to get some input. You want to get some feedback from somebody. I think when you're a listener, it also depends too. I know there's different situations where sometimes you just want someone to hear you. You don't always want input sometimes. You just kind of want to vent, like you were saying before.
Yeah.
So sometimes you're not just looking for the opposition to speak, but you want them to hear you. Because maybe people keep telling them what to do. You just need to be a good listener. You just need to listen. You don't need to be the person telling them or being the person that everyone else keeps being for them and saying, like, oh, do this, do that. They just want a listener. They just want someone to be able to talk to, escape to, talk to. That's it. But I think there's times where there's different variations of it where you should, talk with them again and bring up certain discussions that you had. And I think that also brings you closer as friends, partners, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Like when you make pros and cons lists.
True.
Yeah.
Pros and cons list. Ladies and gentlemen, a pros and cons list always works.
Claus remembers any of your conversations because he can never remember our conversations.
Well,
I mean, actually bring something up. Well, I don't remember saying that.
No, him and I have really deep conversations,
Damn.
And what is our field chat? Nothing?
You're not deep enough.
Well, not as much anymore. That's a whole different story. Regardless,
this podcast ain't deep enough. Well, smart. So we're gonna jump on to the last one here, and this is chivalry.
Damn, bro, did you just slurp that pizza?
Yeah, he did.
Like
one gulp.
I
down.
took a bite.
And it sounded like a slurp.
So chivalry dead. No.
Is chivalry
Yes.
dead?
No.
Yes.
Hold on. Let's get the girls' opinion on this one real quick. What do you think?
Is chivalry dead? I think with the men that are available, there are slim pickings. The ones that are available. So the good ones are either taken, gay, or handicapped in which way, shape, or form. There's some reason why they're single. I'm sorry, why they're not available. Handicapped, whether it be emotional or God knows what reason. And the ones that are left are very slim pickings, and those are the ones that are sending you dick pics on Instagram
That's
in
not
the
chivalry
DM, or like all the social media warriors or whatever you called them. Yeah,
Internet
chivalry
warriors.
is dead. I mean,
what would you like to see guys do for you that's chivalry wise?
what I would like to see them do. I mean,
You miss the old stuff, like open the door for you while you walk in.
there was one thing that I think was cute, like with someone that I dated a few years back. Like he would never let me walk on the side of the sidewalk that was closer to the street.
Oh, I'll put down my notes.
And I thought that was really cute. And
That's very nice. Yes.
And I asked him once, and I was like, "Why do we always switch places with me while we're walking?" And he's like, "Well, because if a car ever were to come on the curb, it's to hit me and not hit you." And he gave me this whole explanation. I'm like, "Oh, that's kind of cute."
What if it was a
cute.
truck though?
And
it's gonna hit both of you.
Well, then we're both goners. But and he would also open the door for me into the car, and he would get out of the car first, and then open the door for me to get out. And I thought things like that were cute. Now, mind you, he also was a little screwy and missing some nuts and bolts up top in his head, and he was a little bit of a wackadoo. But he had those good points. He was chivalrous. But I just think I would like a guy that wants to actually get to know you. I think that's the most important thing for me right now. Someone that wants to get to know you and just isn't wanting to jump into your pants. And that's very hard to come by in the dating world right now.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Most guys absolutely are terrible at chivalry. I mean, they're awful. But there is some easy stuff that you could do. Chivalry is not really hard to show. I mean, you could text her good morning, good night. I think that's very nice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I agree.
You could instead of texting, pick up the phone and call her.
That, you know what, though? I mean, I've had where I've tried talking to someone new and I called them and they didn't answer. And then they texted and they said, did you mean to call? And I'm like, yeah, I want to actually have a real conversation with someone's voice. Like, I don't want to text you. Like, I want to get to know you over the phone, like have a conversation. Like, that's so foreign to people nowadays. They don't want to talk on the phone.
It kind of shows, I guess, your emotional voice more. Like, are you really into this conversation?
Well, yeah,
your
like,
tone of voice.
Yeah, your tone of
voice. That's a good point. Yeah.
I mean,
you seem
text
disinterested.
can be misconstrued. Like, you don't know how something's sent. You could read a text in, like, you know, 6 different tones. Like, you just don't know how it was sent.
Holy crap, that's so true.
It is. You really just don't know how that person meant to send something.
I think a phone call shows, like, hey, I like you. You know, let's get to know each other better.
I think it shows too, like because of the social stigma of like, no, you calling me? No, don't call me. Like, no, like I don't give a shit. You know, like I'm fucking gonna call you just to call
like,
you.
I just like I want to have a normal conversation. Like I want to get to know who you are. I don't want to know who your social media account is. I don't want to text you. I want to get to know who you are as a person. And I feel like that is also very hard to come by nowadays. Like, the whole generation is on to the next one. Like, if it doesn't work here, there's a million other messages in my inbox that I could open up and talk to whomever. Like, it's on to the next one. Like, if something's broke nowadays, they don't try to fix it. They just let it go and go to the next thing.
There is the one chivalry test that I mean, I know when I hang out with my friend, that always works. Or I mean, like, I love it, and it's something that I've always seen. When you open the door, like when you open the door and you open the door for them. And as soon as you go around the car, and they reach over the driver's side and they open the door for you.
Oh, I thought you were talking about just opening a door for just in general, like. I don't know. I think that's just manners.
Opening a door
for women is just manners.
Yeah, you want to go? Yeah, because like I'll open the door for her so she can get in, and then she'll reach right over, open the driver's side, and like push it up. It shows effort, man. That's like, I mean, I don't know. To me, I've always liked that.
I don't know. I feel like most times when I'm in the car, I'm like, hey, okay, let's go. Jump out of the car. I'm not gonna make the person wait an extra 4 seconds for me to go around the car to open the door. It's not a rude thing. It's just like, we want to bounce now. Let's go right now. Don't wait an extra 4 seconds for me to open your door.
It's that little courtesy. Few seconds is like...
That's why I open doors for women all the time. Because it's just...
I open the door for her, but it's the effort that I've seen from her. It shows like, okay, wow, you opened the door for me. Like, let me just do this small little thing and reach over and open the door, release the knob from the inside so you can get in. It's that little cute stuff that I'm like...
It's the small things that matter.
It's honestly, small things build up to bigger things.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I mean, chivalry dead, I think, from Jess's perspective and from how she said it, at least from men, it sounds like it's pretty much dead. But then again, I don't know.
I don't know, even smaller things like calling her beautiful once in a while, like even if she's in sweats, she looks like she's sick, she has a sick face on, hey, you're beautiful, you know, it goes a long way.
Yeah, like you still look good. Like you look great.
Tell them you look nice. Tell them they look nice even when they don't think they do, but they probably do.
It lets them know too. Like, hey, like I still think you look great. You know, like.
And when they don't believe, like I don't believe him. Like, oh my god, are you serious?
Well, you know what though? I bet even when she says it, she's still like, oh. At least someone today told me I'm beautiful.
You know I think like deep down she's gonna say that to you, but deep down she's like, oh, it's really nice.
I think it's just a reaction response.
And then she's gonna text her girlfriend, hey, just call me beautiful.
This guy just told me I look amazing.
Fabulous. So is chivalry dead?
That's
a tough one because for most guys it is.
Yes, for most it is.
But for me, I will chivalry the shit out of you.
I don't know. I think it's what
becoming extinct.
Yeah, I think that's a question more for women to answer than men. What chivalry do men look for when you think chivalry? Like, okay, perfect example. Me and Jess used to work at Medieval Times, and the whole point of that old version of chivalry was that men were the chivalrous ones. Chivalry was always falling on the man.
Yeah.
He had to be the provider. He had to be the knight in shiny armor. He had to do everything correctly, everything right. So I don't think there's really any chivalrous responsibilities or duties falling on top of women now, or I don't think there really ever have been. But I think more for the fact of men, women are the ones that should be answering this question. Like, you know what? As a man, I mean, as men, chivalry has gone down like this. They'll show us a pie graph or whatever, or a bar chart. You see this? Chivalry in the 1300s was an all-time high. 2018 at an all-time low.
Yeah, that's true though.
Yeah.
Even small things. When we used to work at the Rebel Stadium, we used to do super long hours of jersey making. We used to get out. We used to go to my ex-girlfriend's house. She would have Chinese food ready for me. Like, I think those are small service things, I guess you could say, that really that means something.
I guess I don't know,
but chivalry is dead for the most part.
Yeah,
True.
I'm sorry, ladies, but it's not dead for me. I will hold the door open for you.
That's manners. I at least, I don't know. That's how I was raised. Like, yo, a woman's behind you, or you're with a friend and she's a woman, open the door for her.
I mean, whoever's behind me, I'm going to open the door regardless.
You got to open the door for like a 6'4" bodybuilder guy?
I open the door for everyone. I mean, it's just, if he's behind me, I'm going to open the door. I'm going to hold it open. That's how I do it, and that's how I was raised.
Yeah, that's just being polite. I mean,
I don't know.
I remember the day John Cena held the door open for me. The best day of my life. That is right there. That is, are you dateable? What makes someone dateable?
They're totally missing one off of that list,
which is
they can't be picky. I like food. I'm a foodie person. I want to go to an Indian restaurant. I want to go to an Ethiopian restaurant. I want to try new things. So if you're picky and all you want is plain dry chicken with plain
non-seasoned
rice,
chicken,
unseasoned chicken with some boring ass rice, then we're not going to work. Because you say you don't want to come with me to Indian. Oh well, sucks to suck. You can stay home. Nope. I'll be on my happy ass way going over to get Indian.
I'm a very picky eater.
I don't do picky. I can't.
So who gets to decide where to eat?
She does all the time.
I don't decide. But
there you go.
Even
what she's saying.
She says you pick where you want to go, and then when you pick, no.
Oh no, I'm very easygoing. I'll go anywhere you want, but I want someone that's open to trying new things. Like, I don't want someone to be like, oh, that's raw fish. Like, try it first before you say no.
No seafood. No way, Jose.
Like, I like everything and anything, so I want someone that's at least willing to try. If you're going to try it and you don't like it, okay, it is what it is. But if you're just going to be like, no, I'm not trying it because it's fish, and I don't do fish.
I don't do fish.
Guru Dan.
Then, it's like that Key and Peele episode, and when he's asking her, where do you want to go? And then she says, anywhere you want. Chinese? No.
I'll say sure. I like Chinese.
No.
I just want someone that would be open to trying new things, because I'm all about trying new things.
I could try new things. It just can't be seafood. I just cannot do seafood. I'm sorry.
You're Italian.
I hate seafood.
That shit's in your blood. Clams were just like.
I did eat lobster arms or whatever the fuck those are.
Lobster tail?
No. Or is it crab? I ate crab.
You said lobster arm. Okay.
Like, those little...
Crab legs.
Crab legs. Thank you. I ate some of those before. Those were all right. And then I had an allergic reaction. My eyes started puffing out. It was horrible.
Yeah.
I tried seafood. I meant sushi. No go.
But you tried it, though, so I give you props for trying it.
It always depends on the roll, but regardless.
And that's the day when
we
dropped a lot of shit.
There's so many options of food out there that you don't want someone that always eats the same thing over and over again. Like, all I want is a plain piece of chicken with french fries and rice on the side. Like, there's Korean barbecue, there's hibachi places, there's Indian food, there's Pakistani, there's Bosnian food, there's Portuguese food. Like, there's so many different things out there. I want someone that would be willing to try. Like, I don't want someone who's boring in all aspects of life.
Okay, so don't be picky.
Don't be picky.
Yeah, no picky. You can be picky with who you date, just don't be picky with where you go to eat.
Okay. So it is definitely time we start closing out this episode. A little bit longer than we expected, but overall, good episode. So next podcast is actually Speed Dating Podcast, episode 4. So we're going to do speed dating, and then we're also going to throw another topic in there, depending on how much information we have from our speed dating results. How much should you have in common with your significant other? Question mark. So that's going to be next week's podcast. Anything to add? You guys excited?
I mean, I can't wait to talk about that topic. How much you should have in common with your significant other. I have some good advice on that one. But yeah, I can't wait to, get to that topic.
It's all about the yin and the yang.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Think about it. Yin and yang.
All right, ladies, gentlemen, that's the end of this episode. But before we go, we have a question out there we want you to answer. Ladies, this question is mainly for you. But guys, you may throw in your answer as well. And to give us your answer, just email us at questions at nosugaraddedpodcast.com or go to nosugaraddedpodcast.com. And the question is, what's the proper answer to, does this dress make me look fat? Now, this question always makes men's heart skip a beat. It's a hard question to answer. Men still can't seem to find the right answer for this question.
We can't answer this right now.
No, we cannot.
Oh
answer
my
this right
god!
now. And if the dress does
That
make
is
her
a
look
loaded
fat,
question. That is a loaded question.
It's hard to answer that, because honesty, it definitely hurts. But if the dress doesn't look fat and you tell her no, she's still not going to believe you. So, ladies, we want you to send your answers to us. Gentlemen, if you experienced this before, let us hear the stories, the war stories. Let us know what you got, and we'll bring this up at the next podcast, and we will throw our answers into this question as well. Thank you all for tuning into this episode. Don't forget to follow us to keep updated when our new episodes go live. Goodbye, and have a wonderful day.
This is Jean-Claude. Good night.
Chief Abs signing off.
This is Jess. Good night.
Bye.